Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, how are you all doing? And today we're going to look at the Harmonic Scanner in terms of trading. And this is the London to New York crossover section. So I'm just going to start to share screen and let's have a look at logging in. First of all, I want to go through briefly some things. If you are in our 7-day trial, make sure that you look at this is the Financial Freedom Movement trial group, so make sure you have a look in here and you'll be able to access some information, basic information, how to place a trade on an Apple phone, how to place a trade on an Android, the compounding spreadsheet. So this is theoretical, but it shows you the power of how you can turn a small account into a very nice sum of money, even if you don't achieve it in full. But partly achieving it could make a very big difference. A guide to TradingView. This is, you can get a free version. This is where I put all my chart markups and do all my trading. However, you don't have to do it on TradingView. You can just use the Harmonic Scanner, which comes free with your basic package. So we can have a look at that. Simple Forex strategies that we teach. We focus on Be Your Own Bank and 25 to Life. We went through some of that yesterday. The live schedule, you'll find all the traders, some sessions across every time zone to suit everyone. And then the IM Mastery Academy. So once you've joined, then you become a member of the Financial Freedom Ninjas. And here in the announcements, you'll see, let me just close that down. You'll see information on done for you trades, the weekly watch list where us live traders put our call outs on trade ideas from our live sessions. And this is a very important one. I always direct people to Paul's introduction video. We've spent 3 years putting this group together, refining the trading strategies, and really got it down. I simply don't know how we could improve the trading any more than this. IM Center, where you'll find the harmonics. We're going to come on to the harmonics in a minute. And then look at, after you've looked at Paul's introduction video, then go to the units. Remember, we're stronger together, we learn together, trade together, and we win together. A lot of effort has gone into organizing these units. So I had someone say to me yesterday, how could they get on? Oh, they said it to John Doherty, who brought us the 25 to Life from Oren Wright, one of the top educators. And they said they're busy working, although obviously with COVID, they're teleworking. How could they get on his live sessions to learn that strategy? Well, when I started, we didn't have all of this. And, you know, I focused, as did all my other fellow live traders and people that have been in this group 2, 3, 4 years, on going through IM units, going through Go Live, where the live educators were, and looking at recordings. So we didn't have all these live sessions. So it's not just a question of taking the live trades. You know, we've got videos in here and information on, John Doherty has, on how to do 25 to Life, how to do 25 to Life. So if it were me and I were starting now, I would find the recordings on 25 to Life, make notes and have a look at what John has told us with Paul. They've refined the candles and the entry and exits and how to take a trade off the D point, and we'll have a look at that. And you know, you can learn from that. And then when you can catch a live session, okay, you can't take the live trade if you follow a recording of a live session, but you will by that stage have practiced from looking at the videos and be able to understand what the settings are on the fib that we put on and how to take the trade. So don't let it hold you up on your learning process. If you can't get on a live session, it shouldn't hold you up. Obviously, getting on live sessions is hugely important. But as I say, you can put a lot of work in beforehand and understand and take on demo how to do a strategy. So here's the Be Your Own Bank strategy. Learn this first. And the Ninjacator that we put on which shows the buys and sells and how to set alerts. And here's the strategy 25 to life ninja edition. So the Harmonic Scanner rules and how to apply it. And then, as I say, there are videos John Doherty has done with Paul on how to do 25 to life. So those are the two groups, the trial group, and then come into the financial freedom group and work your way through the units. Then we go to im.center, which is where all the strategies are. They used to be called products. And we're going to look at the Harmonic Scanner today, which is the basic of this, everything. All the trades I do are using the Harmonic Scanner and pitchforks. I can now trade naked charts, and I don't take other signals and trade ideas, but that's a more advanced situation to get to. And you know, in order to get to that stage, you want to be confident, pick one or two strategies, and then get confident with your confirmations so that you trust the process. And if you go into drawdown, then you understand what is happening, and you understand that the trade will come back, and it's the flow of the market. The market moves in waves. It doesn't move in straight up or down lines. So come at im.center, come into here, look on the left, and you will see strategies. And once you're in here, then you've got the products on the left. You use Vibrata as an add-on. I think it's $21.75 a month for taxes, and that's hugely powerful. We've got artificial intelligence now from Stephen Hooley, the creator of Vibrata. It used to be called Web Analyzer, and the artificial intelligence makes it super accurate, and it's able to make assumptions on what's going to happen in the future with the trade ideas that it calls, based on what's happened in the history. And if you'd like to know more about that, one of our team members called Tony Lupino focuses very much on that, and grabbing a small number of pips, which can be worth a lot because it depends on your account size. And I'm sure Tony will help you. So that's Tony Lupino, knows an awful lot about that. And now here's the harmonics. Now the Harmonic Scanner works off predicting where reversal points are going to take place in the market. I look at the H1 usually. You can look at the M15, the 15-minute ones, but the bigger the scan, the more accurate they are. And I have certain criteria. This is, I take scans of a minimum of 80 pips. And then you can just simply use this. You don't have to use TradingView. You could put your 25 to life Fibonacci on here and work out the trade if you're at work, although that's not happening so much because of current global situation. Then you can set alerts and set pending orders, so it will only trigger when it hits a certain price, and then you'll get an alert on your phone. So, or you can take the Harmonic Scanner's suggested entries and take profits. TP stands for take profit there. So let's
ask you a question, Sarah.
Yes, of course. Yes, anyone's welcome to ask questions. Hi, Sophie.
Hi. If you were going to do the, whether you're at work or not, or doing something else, do you need to have two different brokers if you wanted to do the, what I'm understanding to be the longer term strategy you're showing here? And if you wanted to do the be your own bank at the same time on something shorter or smaller, I'm not exactly sure what words to use, but would you need two brokers accounts to be able to do two strategies at the same time, or? Can you
no, you can no, because the two aren't connected. Whoever your broker is, they don't care what strategy you're using. They're simply running the money side of your account. That's all they're doing, is placing the trades for you. So it's separate.
Can you have two? Because how you showed me yesterday, we would have been doing one thing. Can you be doing two things at the same time on the same account with the same broker?
Yes, they're not even aware of how you are arriving at the decision you're making on your entry
cutting
price.
out.
Oh, that's just Zoom being slow. Sorry, I can't do anything about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what did you say?
The broker doesn't, they don't care how you're arriving at the decision when you say to them, this is my entry price and this is my stop loss. They don't care what strategy, they don't know. All they're seeing is that you're placing a trade at a certain price with a certain stop loss and possibly setting a take profit. So you
can do that, and then does it disappear from your screen and you place another one?
It will stay on your MT4 or C trader as a live trade running, and you can place as many trades as you want depending on the size of your account and how much margin you've got.
So as long as you have the money in the account, you can have several trades running at the same time?
Yes, absolutely, as long as you've got the margin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's a very basic question. I apologize.
No. It's a very good question. The only thing I would say is that if you've, say, got a main strategy, my main strategy is harmonics and pitchforks. So my bigger account, my main account, I keep separate from when I'm running 25 to life trades. I keep that in a separate account because I like to keep note of the percentage success win rate on each strategy. I don't want two very different strategies muddled up.
So do you mean by separate account, you mean separate broker?
Yes. Well, not separate broker, but you can run multiple accounts with a broker. You can have, you can open more accounts, or you can have separate brokers. You know, it's whichever you prefer. And another point when you're learning with a broker, what a lot of people don't realize, the broker's not going to tell you this. This is a little bit sort of a fine detail. But say when you're learning, you haven't had a very good success rate, but you've got better, then what I recommend people do is actually open a new account with their broker, because they place your orders a bit faster in the queue, because they know that if you're over a certain percentage win rate, they know that you're a better trader. So they give you more priority. And those nanoseconds can make a difference on, you know, the price and the stop loss and what you're actually getting when you're doing the trade space live.
If you open a new account, you get better placed?
Only when they've seen that you've got a higher, better percentage win rate, then it's worth opening a new account, because your trading history doesn't look very good to them. When you're new, you may not have a very high win rate. When your win rate improves, then I think it's worth cutting off your old what I call a learning account, having a new, nice, polished one with your 78, 80, 90% win rate, because they'll place your order faster in the queue. And as your account size grows, it really matters. Yeah, the precision on they've hit the button, there isn't a time delay, because pips can move quite fast. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I have a certain rule, which is I only take trades for a minimum of 80 pips, and that one's 148. And you can see that it was a successful scan, and it hit take profit 3, and that took how long? That's on GN, Great British Pound, New Zealand Dollar, which is a fast moving pair. That's from the 16th of March, and that took, to hit take profit 3, that took 1 day, 13 hours. You could have had 136 pips. It says there 1,367, but that's not that's not pips, that's pipettes. The 7 on the end is to the right of the decimal point. So when you're measuring the C to D leg, that would have been 136 pips. And let's look at GA, Great British Pound, Australian Dollar. Just give that a moment to load. So that's an older one. It did hit take profit 3. That must have been news. I'll show you Forex Factory in a minute, and it's still carrying on, up. Trader's Way is the main feed. I just want to see what's happening there. So here we have a new one. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Thank you. That was from oh, that's just printed. That's just printed, that one. So let me measure that one.
So when you say you only take trades for 80 pips, it's 80 projected or potential pips. It's when you expect it to do 80 pips. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and the scanner has worked that out. It said this is where we think the D point has finished drawing. Sometimes the D point will move. That's 310, so we'll draw this because this will set up for, that's a big scan, and this will set up for 25 to life, for those of you that want to follow that. So when you're drawing the scan, you can actually, once this is printed, if I zoom into this, once this is printed 2 candles to the right, you've then got sufficient there to put on your Fibonacci for your 25 to life if you are using that strategy. It hasn't done that yet. It's only printed 1 candle to the right of the D point, and we need 2 candles to the left and 2 to the right. But we will draw it because it's a new one. And normally I wait for the D point candle to solidify by 20 pips. So from the D point, has it moved up 20 pips yet? Yes, it has. It's done 27. So, but those are just, that's just following my confirmations. You don't necessarily need to do that for 25 to life. But as I say, sometimes the D point can go down, or the scan can fail. You just, I'm very happy for you to unmute and ask questions, anyone, as we go along. But I've just muted everyone for the moment. Okay, so make sure look bottom right, make sure your time zone is in your local area. I'm on Paris time, so UTC +1, the time zone must match up. And this is Euro USD, major Forex pair, and the X point is at the 20th of the 2nd at 0600. The A point is the 9th of the 3rd at 0000 midnight. The B point, look to the bottom, is the 12th of the 3rd at 1600. Now, as I say, you don't have to do this bit. You can just work off here. I do it because I can then use the scan. Because I put a pitchfork on, that means I can take multiple trades over a period of time. It's just the strategy that I've learned. You don't have to do that. But if you are working off this, you can put your 25 to life on. You've got an excellent trade there. You can take the scanner information. The scanner is 89% accurate over 100,000 independently verified scans. But the reason I draw them on is because over a period of months, because the pitchfork and the scan uses Fibonacci, it's based on maths. They're both based on maths. They're highly, highly accurate. And that means I can use the pitchfork as my trend lines forever to take multiple trades off the pitchfork. So that's simply why I save the scans, because they will disappear off the scanner on this right-hand menu. They don't stay on. So the D point is the 18th of the 3rd, and this one's worth drawing because it's a nice big scan. So you can either put your 25 to life on here, or you can go over to Trading View, and that's what I'm going to do now. Here's Euro USD, and just let me check Forex Factory. We use forexfactory.com. We always check the red flag news because we avoid trading 1 hour before the news hits and 1 hour afterwards. And this is because you often get big spikes in the market when the news hits. So you can put on your sessions timer up here, put it on your local clock, so you can see where we are. We're in the London to New York crossover. And you know, that's useful to know for which pairs, which are your hot pairs. So we've got CAD news. This is on Paris time. So we've just had the Canadian dollar news, and later tonight New Zealand dollar news. So nothing at the moment. So that's fine. So come over to Trading View if you want to do it on here. Go to the 1 hour time frame, the same time frame as your scan, and I think it, let me look at when that one was, D point. So this has moved slightly, and let me take off all these squiggly lines so we've got a clean chart to look at. And I'll just hide that pitchfork.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Why are you using TradingView instead of Vibrata?
Because I trade off naked charts. I actually don't take signals off Vibrata. I don't take anyone else's signals. I'm just taking my trades off the chart. And the reason for that is when I learned this, I joined in May 2018. We didn't have all the things that we have today. And once you've learnt your favorite main strategy, then stick to it, you know, stick to what works. So I've added on that I'm very happy to recommend and teach BYOB and 25 to life, and indeed open a separate little account for 25 to life, because it fits in so well with me using the scanner and the D point. So you have to decide on what your method of trading is. This is why I use TradingView, and I like to save all my scans. So
oh yeah, you said that because it saves.
Yeah, so I've got them forever. So the other day I took a trade, and I was working off a pitchfork, i.e. a trend line. I didn't even look to see, because there weren't a lot of new scans being printed. I'm still able to trade. I'm still able to trade if Vibrata goes down, because I've got all my old scans and my pitchforks. So you know, that's just what, you know, what I do. You know, just like, I like everything on TradingView as well. I find it a really good system to look at watch list and have my indicators on, and, you know, change strategies, whatever I'm doing.
So it's habit, or do you think it's better than the other one?
I think, well, I can take trades off the Harmonic Scanner, but I've never done that, and I like to save things. So
Right.
it gives me my dashboard.
Yeah,
you know,
so
across 24 currency pairs that I trade, I've got scans going back nearly 2 years. I've got all my indicators on. I've got my setup here, my template, my trading sessions at the top. You know, it just is my it's my dashboard, like looking out of the windscreen of the car when I'm driving and using the steering wheel. And a lot of us use TradingView, you know, and I've got alerts, so I can put alerts on. I can see TradingView on my phone. I can look at it when I'm lying in bed or I'm out and about. I can see what's happening to a trade I'm in. That's why. Just gives me total control. Okay. So if I go to the 4 hourly on this, or let me go to the daily, I may have hidden certain things. So if I go to the daily, I've got scans going back to 28th of March 2019, and if price came down, this is using TradingView, which I can't do on Harmonic Scanner. If price comes down to, and there's one from October, there's one from August, there's one from July. So if price came down, or if that scan wasn't there, there's a more advanced strategy as well called a second pitchfork, which moves in the opposite direction on a scan, and I can put that on, and then I can trade wherever price is. I can trade across an enormous range. But that's just that you don't have to do it that way, draw the scans like this. You can just take one trade off the Harmonic Scanner, but I can take multiple trades. These are valid forever because they've got Fibonacci built in. They're based off maths. Okay. So I'm not saying use my strategy, but it's the only way I know how to trade for success, having never missed a session and constantly done 9 to 10 hours a week of it, you know, if not more, you know. So that's what's made me confident, that and doing the live trading. So let me just, that's the hourly. Let me just have a look at.
I wasn't challenging your choice. I was wondering. I was just
I didn't
saying in my head how many layers, because at the moment I'm trying to understand Vibrata, and I was trying to think how many layers of knowledge I need before I can start trading.
What we've refined in the Ninja Traders group is BYOB and 25 to life. And I'm 100% certain that that is what I should recommend to new people that join our trading community. 25 to life is very harmonious with the strategy I trade. I get a bit reluctant to go through pitchforks with people because a lot of people, not just in our team, but a lot of people that I know don't use pitchforks. So I'm just lazy because I can click a button, the pitchfork goes on, and those are they're more aggressive trend lines. They are highly accurate, but not everyone visually wants to use pitchforks, or they find them difficult. They don't want to trade that way. I personally don't use BYOB because I find visually I can't relate to it. I can't get my head around it. You have to find which one this is visually is what made sense to me. And when I started having success, I never had success with Trend Breaker, which was another one we had, you know, previous ones. I just don't look at the charts. I don't like Bollinger Bands. I can't work with them. The 50 MA line I can work with because it's similar to one I use. You see what I mean? So you have to kind of feel your way through it. I'm sure it's not a right or wrong. I think it's to do with lifestyle, whether you're working or not, part-time, full-time. I'm at home. I only like market execution. I don't like doing pending orders because I like to be in control. That doesn't make pending orders wrong. And then visually, how you like to look at the charts. And and also I like to be in and out of a trade. Sometimes I can do 50 pips or more in 20 minutes, job done. But some people are out at work, or they like the bigger long swing trades. I know the markets have been a bit crazy at the moment, where it has been possible to get 200 pips in a very short period of time, but that isn't normal, what we're living through at the moment. Do you know what I mean? You have to kind of come to your own conclusions on lifestyle, trading style, visual preferences, and latch on to some of the educators that you really like. For example, Oren Wright, as John Doherty said the other day, he makes trading fun. He's very engaging. He's one of the Go Live IM Academy top educators. We've then adapted that 25 to life strategy, or refined it, and John and Paul brought it to the group. And it's such a simple strategy. So why would I not want to add that on? Otherwise, I've never varied from the one that I do. I never did one we had called EC11 with the cloud, because Kathy Kirkland's highly successful, but she never uses a stop loss. I don't like to trade without a stop loss, for example. And I never really did be your own bank. Well, not I never really did it. I never did it. I've just always stuck to the one that's worked for me after a lot of failure, a lot of throwing a lot of money at a lot of different products, and trying everything and thinking, oh, I'll do gold, I'll do oil. Gold, oil. I've done some Bitcoin, but I did well with that, oddly enough. And Saldo, Mr. Teacup, hugely successful. I tried Gold Cup, I couldn't get it. You know, I failed at that as well. But but now we know what works. Do you know what I mean? And we try and keep it very simple for people. So what people can do is, because the scan is so accurate, is take what I'm telling them, ask me any questions about indicators or price or entries, exits, stop loss ratios, risk to reward, and apply that to your BYOB or your 25 to life. And also the scanner. A lot of us love the scanner. It's at the heart of a lot of what we do.
And the scanner is where?
This is the scanner. The scanner is this, which is free with your basic package. And this is what...
Oh, it's in Harmonics. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is what Christopher Terry invented, the founder of the company. This is his creation. Now, you can, if say we didn't have IM Academy, say the company didn't exist, no reason why it shouldn't, but you could buy the scanner. They are expensive, but there are other versions of the scanner that you can go and buy. And then I know that even if IM Academy isn't around, I can always trade because I do naked. I don't need anyone else's signals. So I think that ultimately is the goal people should get to have the confidence to do your own naked charts and take your own trades. So you could go off and buy the Harmonic Scanner, stick your Fibonacci on. Once you've got the D points, you can do your own 25 to life trade. I think I distinctly remember when I sat down and I found this particular strategy, and I thought to myself, okay, I think this is going to take me a bit longer to get my head around, but I'm going to learn how to trade myself with no one else's signals, and I've never taken a signal since. So I'm not saying that's the best way to go, but I'm saying that it gives you a lot of confidence in not minding, say, for example, that your trade has gone into drawdown, because you understand and you've really got to grips with what's happening on the charts. And the way to do that is not to blindly take other people's signals all the time, but start to learn to do it yourself. So what I always say is have an hour a day where you sit down. Eventually, this is, you know, not when you're brand new, but sit down on your own and trade on your own, with no mates around you, no asking questions, no chatting in the hub, no sitting with everybody else, just on your own. See what's happening on the charts, take your own trades and make notes and back test what went right, how could you improve it, what went wrong. You know, that will give you such huge confidence as you go forward. What, you know, once you've learned the basics and taken some signals, seen some success, then you can build on that. Okay. So once we've done that, we then want to, I'm going to check this because I've forgotten that I did draw this when this one. So what we'll find is there's probably an overlap. So the 20th, there's the X point. So it's the same. I think it's just that the D point has it's always highs and lows. So let me just double check that one. That's, I had written down 6 o'clock. That says 7. I think I'm an hour out, and that's because the States has moved to summertime and we haven't. So that one's fine, because no, that one's fine. That says 7. That says 8 o'clock. Whereas, yeah, that's okay. I think that's okay because it's on the lowest point. The A, the 9th at 1. That's okay. The B is the 12th at 16. So these are all going to be an hour out, because America's different from us at the moment till 29th of March when we go to our summertime. The 16th at 08. And I've written that down. Just want to double check that one. It is important that you're accurate if you're drawing the scans. 16th at 09. And I've got 08. And the D point, this is the one that will have moved, because this is the final point to draw. So that's saying 17th of March at 11, and we know it's moved to the 18th. It's moved here. So that's the 18th at 1300. And if we look here, 18th at 1300, so it's moved to that candle there. Okay, so you can see it in line there. So all I need to do on this one, I may be locked on. Take the padlock off. I'm going to move that D point down to there. And the most important thing to do, hang on, that's, we've got 25 to life on this. So we'll put our 25 to life on. I'll go through those settings and double check the take profits. And then you've got a live trade here once the second candle's printed, because we don't know where to put the fib yet. But we're going to put the 0 on the top of the body. If I'm getting this wrong, tell me, because I'm still fairly new to 25 to life in terms of where to put the fib. If anyone knows, well, I know you know, but you know what I mean. So I've moved that
50% to the second candle, Sarah.
Whilst we're here,
Sarah,
just move my pitchfork, which you won't be using, but I am. So I just want to move that down while we're here, because I can use the pitchfork to help me on my 25 to life trade, because it works as a line of support, very aggressive line of support and resistance. So I do use that when I'm taking the 25 to life ones, but I'll hide it for the moment. So the last thing I need to do, and we only need to do this one point, is if you are drawing the scans onto your trading view, then you need to make sure that it is on the nearest point on the 1 minute, because the previous screen was one 60-minute candle, an hourly candle, but in order, you can see how it's off. So in order for it to be accurate, it does need to be on the closest candle on the 1 minute, because you've got 60 candles in the hour. So there's going to be 60 of these 1 minute candles will appear as one candle in the 1 hour. And this gives me a precise entry point. So 18th of March at 1300, it's going to be over here. And just move that there. And let me just put back on that pitchfork. There. There we are. And then I lock things on so I can't accidentally move them. And let's go back to the 1 hour to look at this. What you're going to do on this is a 25 to life trade. So let me check the entry points on the scanner. So we've got the entry at 1.09314 and take profit 1 at 1.1038. Take profit 2. Usually the 25 to life strategy will hit take profit 2, 1.11149, and take profit 3, 1.12366. So come back to the scan. Let me check if any of these have moved. The entry point is still listed as the same. Take profit 1. Go to settings, coordinates, 1.1038. Seems to have moved. 0.1038. The entry is still the same. And take profit 2. That's, I think that's moved. 1.111. So you've got 2 ways of taking this trade. What we're doing here with the Harmonic Scanner, you can simply use that. I'll show you how to do that. Or you can put on your fib for the, which is here we see the green, the blue, the purple line. Put the fib on and take the 25 to life trade once we've got a second candle to the right of the D point printed on the 1 hourly. And I haven't got TP3 on here, so we'll put that on. So you can go to the right where it says trend line, and I just take a horizontal ray because that just gives me a short sort of line, and then I'll clone that just so I can change that, put that up there, just so you can see, we can have a look, see how it correlates with the pitchfork and quarter theory. Those settings, DP. TP3, and then we'll just check. There it is. This is the line I'm going to draw in, so we can see how to take this trade. 1.12366 here, and settings 1.12366. Okay, so that's up, that's right up there. Okay, so that's on the hourly. Now, if we're going to do, I'll take the pitchfork, I'll hide the pitchfork. So if we're going to take this trade just off 25 to life, oh, hilariously, it's dropping down. So if it hits stop loss, which they've listed as 1.07566, that means it then becomes what we call a failed scan. So it's one of that 11%, 89% successful. If it does that, that's an hourly candle that's coming down. It's got, you can see here the counter, 16 minutes, it's got 15 coming up to the last quarter of the hour candle. Then it becomes a failed scan and we don't trade it. So hilariously, that might be what's happening to this one, but I mean, you know, it's all good. So if you were taking a 25 to life trade, we'll have a quick look at some other ones as this is dropping quite fast. Then you want to wait for the second candle to the right to reprint and then put the fib on. I'll go through that tomorrow. If you're taking it as a harmonic scanner trade using these yellow figures here, then what I suggest you do is go down to the, this is what I do on my strategy, go down to the 15-minute and look at your trade setup. So you know, you can put various things on. You've got the BYOB indicators, which I've got down here, for which is the Ask Kevin. Kevin Orm is the creator of the software for the Ninjacator, and that gives us green arrows showing buy and sell. If I just switch that on, it's only appearing in this bottom window, and you know, you actually want it to appear. If I do it like that, oh, it's gone to the top window. I can't, one pane down. Oh, it's because I would need to put it back on up here in my main window. So I'll just keep it at the bottom at the moment. Otherwise I have too many things covering up my scan. So you're looking, if you put the Ninjacator on, it'll appear over where price is, and it's green for buy and red for sell. You simply follow that, and you put the other indicators on for the BYOB. Let me just close that. And if we're doing the 25 to life, wait for the second candle to reprint, and then we put the fib on with the settings. So use your rule sheet for that. And with the harmonic setup, if I wanted to look at this as a trade, then let me just get rid of that. Then I put on my pitchfork. Yeah, and I'll put on my quarter theory, which again is support and resistance. And I'm just going to hide the 25 to life strategy. This perhaps isn't the best example because it's dropping right down here. These little Fibonacci, the extension lines down here, represent my stop loss. The harmonic scanners had the stop loss for this trade right down here. So you're still okay with that candle dropping down. These are like Bollinger Bands, these extensions. So it may come, the euro may come right down and then come on back. Usually these extensions will ping, they act like Bollinger Bands. They will ping price back into the scan. And then once it's come back up to the entry point, take the trade. So for me, price has got to do, if I show you in more detail, before I would consider getting into this trade. I would be waiting for a break and a retest. Break and a retest off the D point. So I want to see price come back, break and retest. Then I would take the trade there, and then it'll probably stall out. If it does come back into the scan, stall out, break and retest there, and then price will always move between levels. So it would be on its way up to the next quarter theory and pitchfork. So between here and here, I've got 20 pips. So I always work on a 10 pip stop loss to a 20 pip gain. So that would be okay for me, but only once it's come past the pitchfork, my line of support and resistance. And then to put on a buy, you go to long position for a buy, short position for a sell. So after the break and retest, and I don't know what time that's going to happen, because if it moves up here, it's in price trap, and then I won't take it until after it's moved beyond 1.09500, which is the next line of support and resistance, i.e. quarter theory. But if it did it, I mean, it's not probably going to move that fast, I don't know, but if I put that there, then I've got my 20 pips here, 1 to 2 risk to reward, and I can get away with a 10 pip stop loss, which is what I like to work to, 1 to 2. So I would want that. I would want my price above that line to protect me from it hitting stop loss. And ideally, I like to take trades where there's a quarter theory in that red box as well, because then I've got 2 invisible barriers stopping me my trade coming through to stop loss, which is what I call my profit regulator. And then I've got my 20 pips up next to quarter theory. So if it stalls out there, price will usually stall out at a level, and then takes off again like that break and retest. Then what I do is I go back to my trade. And you can do what's called a stack in. So you close out some of the first trade, and you know you want to get price up to here. So the point of doing it like this is that you have got your stop loss. You haven't got any drawdown because you've got your stop loss on your stack in, but that's a bit more advanced. That's how I stack in off these precise entries on the 1 minute. But let's just see if we've got any examples I can show you on this one. So here you can see on its way down, price stalled out along that pitchfork, dropped to quarter theory, carried on all the way down, didn't hit quarter theory there, went back up, stalled out along quarter theory, then hit the pitchfork back again, and then broke back down to that level, down to that pitchfork level where it stalled out, and that's going down to the next level. Price will always want to move between levels. So either it's going to stop here and say, I've had enough, I'm rejecting off this, I can't break through, or it will then say, I'm breaking through, and it will want to come right back down to the next level, could drop even further. So I don't know, we've got 10 minutes left. Very happy to answer any questions. We'll just look at a couple of more pairs, see what else we've got. I don't think we've got anything else on GCAD, Great British Pound, Canadian Dollar.
Sarah, could I ask
another scan now, obviously, because of time, but we'll just see. This is very wiki. So
Sarah, hi, it's Helen.
With a market with a lot of wicks, then you
can I ask a couple of questions?
You need to give yourself a bigger stop loss and make sure you put yourself into a stop profit, even if only 1 pip, as soon as 1.5 pips as soon as you can, and then grab your money when you can. You know, be quite aggressive on your trades, because you can get wicked out. So you've got to move a bit faster. Let me measure the leg on this. So that's a big scan, 298. We've got the 2 candles, and it is a sharp pattern. but it has hit take profit too. So on sharp patterns, you can see 2 entry points. With a sharp pattern, we don't enter until the second entry or until it's hit TP1. So second candle to the right or the left, the one that's going to win is just by a whisker is the one to the left. So this is good to draw up a 25 to life. So let's see if we've got time just to use there's the fib retracement, left hand menu. This is for 25 to life. Let's see if I can get this right. So it's taken my settings off. I haven't saved it as a template, so I just have to quickly change the settings. This is the fib. So you see, I'll do this on mine because I never use the harmonic scanner, so I'll just do it on, I'll just find it on here. GCAD, there it is. But you can do this on the scanner, it's just I'm quicker doing it on this. 1 hour, 1 hourly. There it is. Take off the, don't want to see any of see perfect rejection off the pitchfork there. Did slip through a bit, coming down outside. Take off those two, we don't want to see those. And hide. So I can't do this one because I haven't drawn that scan, and we're running, I might be able to do it. We're running out of time to draw the actually draw the scan. Let's see how far we get. So I've got an hourly scan, and it's a big scan, so just try and make that. And this gap was the open of market. That's why I don't hold trades over the weekend. Crazy markets, so big gaps on the spread on the pips. Right, so it's a bit slow. Just trying to remove that. So make sure your time zone's the same. So GCAD X point 17th of the 3rd at 1400. As I say, the time will be out by an hour because the Americans have changed their clocks and we haven't. 1700. The B point 17th of the 3rd at 21. The C 18th of the 3rd at 0900, and you're always looking for the highest and the low point, so you can see that visually. There's no right or wrong in the way you draw them. At 12 noon. So back to GCAD, and there's our hourly. So we're looking for the 17th. There, this shape, it's a buy scan with the D point here. So you want to look for the lowest X point. So that's probably that. 13th, no, it's even further over. 16th there. Take your scan point on the left-hand menu, X, A, B, C, D. You've got 5 points on your mouse, so don't only click one at a time. I was teaching someone yesterday, and you know, once you've got it, it's sort of more simple. But so it's going to be 17th of March at 1500 for us. It will be an hour out. 17th at 1700, which might be that one. Yes, there's 1800 for us. The B point, the 17th at 21, the next low point there. That seems to be the same. 18th of the 3rd at 9, next high point, going to be there where it says 10. And then D point 18th of the 3rd at 12. So that's at 1300. So then have a look at it on here, just to make sure, yes, it does look similar. You're good to go. Come back here I won't put the pitchfork on. I'll do that myself because we're going to do this as we're running out of time. We're going to do this as 25 to life. So on the hourly, it's at the moment, it's only printed that first candle, so we can't quite do it yet. Although there, it's got 2 candles, and I am on the hourly. So that's a bit strange.
There, some of the candles have been
On the
duplicated
hourly.
on the scanner.
D point, the 18th at 1300. 18th
Oh, can't Sarah hear us?
Oh, and so I've got the right 18th. Oh, okay, well, I don't know why that is then. I've only got 1 candle appearing and the scanner's got 2. Oh, I know, it's because the time clock's out with the Americans. I think that's why. So I can't draw on the 25 to life until you've got the next candle printed. And that is 300 pips, so nice big scan. So I'm going to leave that there. So we're coming up to time. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I can't see any other. EuroCAD, a lot of wicks there. Oh, that's massive, isn't it? 499 pips there. A lot of wicks on that for EuroCAD. And the GU one, that's a failed scan. There's your stop loss. Do not draw that. Don't trade it. It's dropped off the cliff. No good. So you can tell quite quickly that's a good one. Although obviously in these markets it's wicky, which means there are spikes but not real volume in the trading. But that is there's a 25 to life one. How big's that? So that's NZD-JPY, which is an Asian session pair, 258. And looking quickly at that, obviously the second candle to the left is the one where you want to put your 50% line. That's the candle to use. Second candle from the D point, I think.
Sarah, can you hear us?
I don't think she can, Helen. I tried speaking earlier.
No, I don't think she can either. And she's lost her screen share too.
And her sound. I think she's talking.
Maybe we should all wave at her till she pays attention to somebody.
She thinks we're going, I think.
She thinks we're what?
We're leaving.
Oh, no, I'm not leaving.
That's why she waved.
Sarah.
Mine's gone. I pressed the button, sorry.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, well, I can now. I'd pressed it against me. Sorry about that. If you've got anything you ever want me to cover, you know, entries and exits, profit, risk to reward, stop losses, how to get out of a trade, trading view, harmonic scanner, I mean, anything, please let me know, or strategies, you know, any questions, then I'm always happy to go through any aspect. So I hope you enjoy Sharon's session. I better go because I'm going to be holding her up otherwise.
Cheers, Sarah.
Yeah, say.
Have you got time for a couple of quick questions?
Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I just didn't want to for
No,
people that want
right.
to go to Sharon, I didn't want to stop people topping off and leaving the meeting when they want to, you know.
These are specific to you, so I will ask you. So do you add every single harmonic scanner back onto your trading view, every single scan that comes in? If it's, I think you said 80 pips.
Yes, I have rules. So very rarely will I draw a 15-minute one because they're not often 80 pips, although we have had abnormal markets. So a minimum of 80 pips, because that gives me 20 pips per leg of a 4-leg pitchfork. So it's very easy to work out risk to reward of 1 to 2, 10 pip stop loss to a 20 pip gain. So it keeps it very simple for me.
So you just kind of keep going through the scanners all the time and checking for new scans and then adding.
I usually check them every morning, or at least at the beginning of the week.
Okay,
occasionally I might miss some, but it doesn't matter, because you build a bank of the old ones, all of which are still tradable. Although obviously the most recent scan takes precedence.
Yeah.
I showed you one just now where the price had just dropped straight down past stop loss.
Yeah.
Clearly you wouldn't draw that. Failed scan.
Right.
Not
Okay.
tradable.
Yeah. Okay.
Rubbish.
And do you, it looks like you create a new template for every pair, is that right? Is that what you do?
Well, this is where you've spotted something I think I did wrong, because I've asked Brian about this in the past, and by that time I'd built such a library, I can't undo it. So Brian says you should be able to use that watch list on the right, click on it, and then it will bring up, bring up your library of scans.
Yes.
But I don't think it does. So I'm not very technical here. This is my kind of Achilles heel. So I have to go to load chart layout, and then I've got each chart saved across the 20. So I can't do that. Let's have a quick click through 24 pairs to see if there's a setup. Now Chance does that. So I think I've done something slightly wrong when I first set up TradingView, and it's too late to undo it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Thank you.
Learn the right way and ask Brian on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've certainly done mine by clicking through, but I haven't started saving the scans yet. So I just wanted to make sure before I started.
Well, if you learn, because I know you're a trainer, so if you learn it properly, and because I'm actually also hopeless at spreadsheets and hopeless at maths, which I hope gives a lot of people hope that they can do this. Because
that gives me a huge amount of hope, because you're a lot better than I am.
Well, only because I've learned this it's learning a process, and I'll tell you the absolute key to it. The big kind of revelation moment for me was the moment when, as John Doherty calls it, the fog lifts. It suddenly seems to lift for some reason. It's very peculiar. You can't actually identify when the fog lifts, but the fog lifts, and it was the moment at which I realized that I was trying to overcomplicate it, that it isn't actually that difficult. You think Forex is difficult because it's something the big boys and the Matrix and all these multi-million-dollar people do. But it was when I learned to trust the process of the confirmations that I realized actually it's incredibly simple. And that's why we say stick to a strategy, stick to one strategy, because I know those confirmations I happen to use work and I can trust them. So as long as Paul said, whichever strategy you're using, that you've got your checklist that you do follow, and that's why I follow the same thing. I always write down my scanner points. I tick them off as I go. I check I've got it correct. Then I'm never uncertain that I've drawn the scan wrong. Oh, is my pitchfork correct? I know it is, because I do religiously follow the same thing. And the same with, have I got my 3 confirmations before I enter a trade? Is there a break and a retest off the pitchfork? Has it broken quarter theory? Has the 62 gone down over the 15? Whatever it is. Is there a fib touch, an 88.6 for me, a channel touch, or a break of the 1-minute trend? It's the same things for me. So have I got 3 of those? And that's why it's important to say always draw quarter theory in the same orange line, because otherwise psychologically you'll give one line more precedence than others. So once you've got it's like your car. You've put the oil in, the petrol's in, the tires are pumped up properly, you haven't got a crack in the windscreen, the windscreen wipers work, you feel safe when you set off on that long journey. It's exactly the same thing. So it's trusting the confirmations. Once it starts to trust the confirmations and not try to say, do these really work?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
when you start to have success, because then you're plunging in with the best chance in the world to win that trade.
That's great, thank you. Yeah.
And if you work out TradingView and can describe it to me, but I can't. I said to Brian, if I've understood you correctly and I've got to redraw all those, that ain't ever going to happen.
No, I can imagine.
So I'm kind of stuck in. I did think to myself at one stage, I'll set up a whole new thing, and start to do new scans on it. But maybe, but not at the moment. and I'm not sure. I can see when Chance does it on his system, on his sessions. He's got 2 systems running, so he's got all his old scans, but for the sake of teaching, where he wants clean screens, he clicks quickly through the watch list, and he's got the latest scans there, and he can see the old ones. So I've tried to ask him, but he doesn't quite understand. Ages ago, but he doesn't seem to quite understand what I'm asking. I'm saying, I think I've set my trading view up wrong, but how do I undo that and get it so I can click on the watch list? Because I've added the scans to the watch list, right? I add them to the watch list, but then if I click on it in the future, it doesn't take me, it doesn't seem to take me back to the one that's all saved and everything.
Have you asked them? Have you asked what are they called?
TradingView.
Have you asked TradingView themselves?
No, because it's kind of on my list. It doesn't stop me trading, and I've just the thing that would be nice would be to be more polished on these sharing sessions, so I could, because actually, like Chance, I can just click through 24 pairs. Is there a setup? Is there a setup? And then we could hone in on 2 or 3, and people could have a lot to look at. But I can't do it that way at the moment. So, you know, I hope you find out more than me, Helen.
Perhaps I'll have a go at it and see how it goes, and then I'll talk to Brian on Monday night on the session.
Yeah, that would be great. He'll love someone else asking the same thing. You know. Okay then.
All right, that's lovely. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Okay then.
Yes, thanks, Sarah. Can I just ask one quick question?
Of course, yeah,
Is it just 1 hour slots, 1 hour time frames that you look at then mainly, or do you go up to a 4 hour as well?
Occasionally, I always start with Traders Way because that's the main feed for the Harmonic Scanner. So my default position is Traders Way 1 hour scans, and then. Yes, occasionally, I don't know, I might just out of curiosity, I'll have a quick flick through the 15-minute, because sometimes you do find a big scan on there, and I might look through the 4-hourly, but it's because my strategy is with a 10-pip stop loss with a 1-minute precise entry. So therefore, I don't want these great big long time frame 4-hourly, really. I'm taking the 1 hour setups, I'm taking my analysis off the 1 hour time frame, and then applying a 1-minute precise entry setup in order to get the 10-pip stop loss. That's the strategy I've learned. So H1, whereas M15 scans tend to be smaller, and as Paul said, they're not so confident on winning. I forget the word he used, but he said the 15-minute ones, because obviously they're smaller. So you know, it's not quite so good on the win rate, I suppose. So always minimum of 80 pips. I would never take anything under. I might draw one that's 79 pips, but that's about it.
That's brilliant. It's been a really useful session. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
Why 80 pips?
Because the pitchfork that I use, which is trend lines with Fibonacci, has 4 legs, 4-leg pitchfork. Each one therefore is 20, 20, 20, 20 pips. And price moves to levels, and it will always reject or break and retest each of those 4 levels. That, or if it's gone straight through, then I'm working to quarter theory, which is at 50 pip increments, and I can take a quarter theory trade if it's on a bigger scan, if it's broken and retested, or quarter theory, because price will always move between levels, because that's the psychology of what the big boys with their huge lots are working to. That they're doing 250 pip stop losses. They're not doing 199 pip stop losses. They just work to these big bands because of the size of their trades, and the fact that the boys and girls in these big banks that are paid to sit there and place trades, they're paid to place numbers of trades that not all of them are, some of them are, not all of them are paid on bonuses and commissions for whether their trades win or whatever. So they just go in with a great big trade and say, oh, shove a 250 pip stop loss on this. That's why the quarter theory works. It's all round numbers.
Oh, that's
so when Paul was saying that he does 10 pips, but you do 80, it's because he uses a different way of working.
No, I'm doing 20 pip win. I'm doing a 10 pip stop loss to a 20 pip win. Paul is saying if you're new, stick because you can make very good money over the period of time, as the compound spreadsheet shows. You know, $100 seriously can. Not everyone's going to get this, and disclaimers and everything turn into that 120,000 at the year end. It is perfectly possible. So he likes to stick to the 10 pips because psychologically, for people who are new, it's a very easy amount to get your head round without thinking, oh, price has hit a level, it's stalling, oh, it's retracing, oh, what do I do now? Before it drops down again, because price will always flow. It won't just go like that or like that. So 10 pips is a good safe number. And Tony Lupino, I was talking to this morning, he's got an easy pip system where he just does 3 to 5 pips. And that's fantastic, isn't it? Because anyone can grab 3 to 5 pips. Now, start with micro lots, 0.01, and obviously new people have smaller accounts, maybe only $50 or $100, $250 or something. But anyone should be able to grab 5 pips a day or 10 pips a day. And that's what Paul wants people to do to get successful. And we can do that 10 pips a day on his session, get successful. And then you can say, oh, do you know what? I got 50 pips today. I got 38 pips. You know, you can build on it. But
so is that why when people put in the side in the messenger, oh, done my 10 pips for the day, are they new people?
Yeah, that's why are they new people? Not necessarily. They could be at work doing that in the coffee break. They may have family trying to do the dinner for the kids, got to put the kids to bed. Oh, great, I've done my 10 pips for the day. And that's where Paul, psychologically, it's so powerful, it's so positive, because 10 pips a day at 3% using that compound spreadsheet is enormously powerful. You don't need a lot of pips, as he says, to, you know, get what you want out of the market.
So the 10 pips a day or the 5 pips a day is more of a get started, learn to win, learn how you work, learn what works for you.
Learn what works for you, because it depends on your lifestyle, doesn't it, as well? You know, because if you're going to go for the bigger pips, you've got to really be able to sit and monitor it. I wouldn't want to do bigger pip trades or stacking in unless I can sit at my big computer. I don't actually trade off my phone. Number one, I'm a bit of a Luddite, so I find it quite difficult to do technical things, particularly on my phone. Yeah, and number two, eyesight and age, and I like my coffee, and I like the TV on in the background, and I've got the printer there and the dog there. I like a big screen and my windows open, not as many as Brian has, you know, and as you've seen, I've got my trading view, so that gives me comfort. It's a bit like my comfort blanket. You know, I know all these millennials, you just use their phones, like my daughter, you know, but I just find that very difficult personally. I use it for alerts, and I use it to see if I'm lying in bed. The other morning I looked at TradingView, and there's the most perfect setup on Great British Pound, and I literally leapt out of bed, you know, and it was like 7 in the morning. It was early, before New York, before London. I literally leapt out of bed, which normally I wouldn't do. And I did stop to make a cup of coffee, and I missed 50 pips, but I got the next 50. It moved that fast, but I could just see, lying in bed on my phone, absolute perfect stall out and set up along a pitchfork and quarter theory at the same point. And I thought, oh boy, that's just about to go, just about to explode. And it did. I didn't realize it would move that fast. But that's how I use my phone. I find I've never placed a trade on my phone, which I feel quite embarrassed about, actually.
I'm hoping I don't have to.
Yeah, well,
I'm hoping to do everything on the computer.
I'm just sort of admitting these things because I just want people to know that, you know, any of us can do this. It's just about a question, isn't it, of finding your comfort zone, your strategy, how you like to work and when you like to work in the day. Because I see the charts as work. You know, you want to get paid for your work. You know, pips matter when you're there. Don't give money back to the market that you don't have to. You know, so learn how, when you get in a trade, learn where you want to decide I always decide where I want to get out of a trade before I've got in it, because I know where those pips should be going. What happens if they don't go down to that point? Am I going to close out? Or because suddenly things can shoot back on you, and then you've given back all that money to the market, which actually, this is your time, this is your work, this is your business. You don't want to be giving money back to the market.
Yeah, no, I'm at home a lot, and I have several hours a day. You know, my other job I've been doing for 11 years. I work at it every day, but I'm okay with 10, 20 hours a week. So I have all that time, and I often work in the evening because my clients are American. So I don't really start until noon, 2, 3 in the afternoon. I have all that time in the morning to do this.
Well,
so
London session is best. That's the biggest volume in the world. And that's where you will easily get your 50, 60 pips when London opens at 9.
To have opposite my other job, I guess.
Yeah. So to get to the point where you're doing your hour of trading at London Open, remember before London Open, you get fake outs. So you can grab a few percent before 9 o'clock. And then that's when you'll get your bigger 50, 60 pip move on the GBP pairs, 9 till 10. Yeah. And that's why. No, that's right.
I don't want to like sound like I'm saying, well, you said that and he said that. I don't. It's because I know nothing. But Paul was saying this morning, if you're completely new, we have lots of new people, just do BYOB for now, for until you know more. But you don't seem to do BYOB.
I only don't do BYOB because it wasn't around when I learnt a strategy that now is super successful for me. I dare not deviate from my strategy. Why should, number one, why should I? And number two, I'm scared to, because I think I'm going to just mess up all that effort and all the progress I've made over the last year or so.
Well, and teach it to us.
Sorry? Yeah, thanks.
Well, teach it to us.
Well, I've learnt enough that I think, and I do. Sharon's very helpful. I do ask her questions, and she's great at helping. And I say, oh, do you look at the pip between the the 50 MA line and the Bollinger Band outer edges? So but it's that visuality of measuring the pips and where it goes to. It's just different visual things, isn't it? So I've never got on with that whole Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic stuff, although I quite like the stochastic. But that's the other thing. Don't have too many indicators, otherwise you get analysis paralysis. You only need 3 or 4 confirmations. You don't need 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, So just, if Paul is our God, the founder, so visionary, so fantastic what he's put in over 3 years to get that group where it is today, with everybody else's help, but the main driving force. If that's what he said this morning, I haven't been able to get on for a couple of days, but if that's what he said this morning, stick with what Paul says. And I'd always say that 100%, but I know he equally likes 25 to life. And
he didn't say he didn't like it. He was just saying, if you're new, we have lots of new people, just try and do, I could totally misquoting him, but I think he said, try and do 10 pips on BYOB.
Always he would say 10 pip a day club, always.
Yeah, and BYOB, and then be done. And then like play, do demos.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, the thing with BYOB is you've got the ninjacator, and that's the other reason he loves it, because it will literally say buy, sell, that's why.
Yeah.
So that is the easiest way to get people feeling happy and confident that this is a good investment, that it's working for them, and they go, oh my God, I've made some money. And it doesn't matter if it's only just a few dollars that would have paid for Starbucks. It's the fact that, wow, this works. Oh my God, that wasn't actually that difficult. It's so exciting.
So you were saying basically learn that first, do that faithfully every day. And then when you're confident with that, maybe go learn something else like 25 to life.
I think that's why, because for 25 to life, we think it's simple, but I think, and the reason I'm happy to share, to say, oh, I can't quite remember, does it go to the body, or do I put it on the 0 or the 50? It's because I want people to know I'm learning it as well. I'm happy to do it live because, I'm comfortable with the scanner and the D point, but I don't sit here outside our sessions and do loads of them and think, oh, I'll just show them how clever I am. Click, 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 it's done. No, why should I? It's my journey as well. I just know gut feeling that 25 to life is dead simple and very accurate. And the other thing is, I don't like pending orders where you set an alert to go off. I like market execution, but I love 25 to life enough to want to be able to share it on here with the D point of the scanner, because I'm using the D point of the scanner myself. And I think that 25 to life is fabulous. And Oren Wright is fabulous. And John Doherty is fabulous. And Paul is. So I really like that. I'm not so happy with BYOB because visually, I see it as visually, it just doesn't work for me. It never has done, using Bollinger Bands and lines from either side of it. But David Kahn's fantastic at it.
Really sorry, Sarah, I've got to go.
Yeah, that's fine.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm really asking because, as you know, with the dyslexia, I learn very slowly. I have to repeat, and before I can get something.
Yeah.
So there's no way I can learn 2 strategies at once. I'm going to have to do one and at a time. And I want to make sure that I concentrate on one that's going to give me results.
Well, although I'm not so proficient on it myself, I can help you. I definitely would, because of what you've just said about your work, I definitely would do Paul's session with BYOB with 10 pips a day, most definitely. That just makes so much sense. And he's on at London Open.
And then I'm fresh, I'm not tired in the morning, it's easy, I can...
And he just knows it's so successful. You know, so I think that's a great conversation that we've just had, Sophie.
Thank you very much. I just didn't want to go, because you sponsored me and you're so helpful when I ask questions outside of sessions. I didn't want to like do one thing that goes against what you do.
No, I'm not precious about anything. No,
I don't mean that. I just didn't want to confuse myself with trying to do different.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know enough about BYOB that I can answer questions and help you outside the sessions.
Okay.
It's just I don't trade it. And sometimes you'll find that I go, let me think, because I'm just not so sure. If you say, where do I measure the pips down to that line, or is it the other side? I have to kind of think about it myself, because it's not one that I'm doing all day, every day, and have done all day, every day for 2 years. Like I have my own system, you know.
I
don't know if you know about the 7 o'clock session, Sophie, but that's really good as well.
Oh, I love Les. He's brilliant.
No, sorry, not 7 in the evening. That's good as well, but that is more the harmonic scanner, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the 7 o'clock in the morning.
Who's that?
It's David Kahn.
Is it 7 in the morning? I thought he was 8.
Oh, sorry, it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, he splits it with Kevin Orme now. So David does 3 and Kevin does 2. But that's a really good session, Sophie.
Yes, I catch it when I can. I have a school run, and so I'm usually back, you know. And if I have to go shopping for food or whatever, nowadays it's become more complicated. So I catch it when I can. I find David very clear.
And there is always the recording if you miss any.
I don't know how to find them.
You will be able to find them. They're in the Facebook page, so you should be able to, you know, once you get to know your way round, that's really useful to be able to go back to the recordings, because sometimes they say things, especially with me, because I'm still learning, and you think you got it, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're not sure. You can go back to the recording, and it's useful just to take a note of, you know, where it was, so that you can go to like 30 minutes in and have another look at it or something. But that's a really useful session.
It's a really good session, and he particularly on a Monday morning, because he does a watch list for the week, doesn't he?
Yes,
he does. Yeah, but that's more a little bit more of an it does the bounce the bank, which is
the
be your own bank
one
mixed with something else. Yeah, but
okay.
But it tends to be quite specific, just to 25 to life they do, but also BYOB. Whereas sometimes Paul gets involved with lots of other stuff as well, which is good, really good. But and they have to finish within the hour as well, so they are more targeted at BYOB and 25 to life.
I think that's a very good point, Kathy, that it's very focused on the trading, and I think that's what Sophie needs. So if you go to Ninja Forex Traders group, our members group, and simply scroll down the discussion, you will find the recordings of each day in that string. And Kevin Orme, who Kathy said alternates with David. So Kevin, is it Tuesdays and Thursdays he does, Kathy? I can't remember which days he does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's the software programmer. He's ex-policeman, not that really matters. I don't know if he worked in security side or IT. I think it's a hobby, but he actually programmed the Ninjacator. So he's very, very into BYOB and how technically to make it profitable for us and make it successful, because he's done that amazing bit of programming.
Well, we've reached the point where I don't want to cry anymore.
Oh, thank God! Because do you know what? When you said,
I'm with you there, Sophie. I got to that point as
well. On Monday, I was like,
I know, and she messaged me and said, I would just want to burst into tears, and it actually kept me awake in bed, because I was thinking, I said to Helen, I said, I need to do a session with Sophie tomorrow, and you know, will you come on it with me? Because I know Helen is so soft and cuddly. This is another Helen, soft and cuddly with people and very clear communicator. And I thought, oh no, because I know Sophie needs this and wants this, and like all of us, wants to really make it work. And I thought, oh God, I hope she doesn't quit. And she's only just come in. I was really worried. I thought, oh my God, my heart went out. I thought, oh, I can't believe she's like breaking down over it.
It's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming. And I'm not very technical either. I'm a bit of a dinosaur. So and that really bothered me to start off with, that my screen didn't look like the screen they were showing, you know, and just little things like that, how to set up TradingView and, you know, make sure your MT4 is installed correctly and all those technical things. It sort of breaks your confidence down a bit. So once you've got to the point where what you're looking at is the same as what the educator's looking at, that really helps. So yeah, I've been looking at this for a few months now, and occasionally I feel confident, but not very often. And I did do it's really useful what you said today, Sarah, for me, because I sort of thought just do BYOB, but then you get pulled into the, you know, all the other stuff, and I was getting really overwhelmed because I was trying too much. But I like, this is only about the second or third of your session, Sarah, but I like the preciseness of this, of what you're doing. It's not so much making a decision, it's, you know, does all this fit in with the strategy? And I really like that idea.
Yeah, again, it's a mentality thing, isn't it? Because I like the preciseness because it gives me confidence, you know, because I'm actually not a very precise person. You know, when I start housework, I start at one end of the house, and instead of, my friends say to me, why don't you just do one room at a time? And I say, because I just don't work like that. I'll end up going to the bedrooms, getting the washing, bringing it down, put it in the washing machine. Then I think, well, while I'm down here, I'll load the dishwasher. So I end up with half done rooms all over the place. And what I liked about trading this style is, has it done that off the pitchfork, and what's quarter theory doing, and has the 62 crossed the 15? It gives me so much comfort, I can't tell you.
Yeah,
you know, it just kind of, as you say, it takes the decision away from me. I've got a question for you, Kathy, on behalf of Sophie. Do you think, because I'd like to help her set up TradingView, but I said to her yesterday, don't bother with TradingView at this stage, because you can do what you need to just off the Harmonic Scanner. Because I was a bit worried I'm going to overwhelm her again by going through all the setup on TradingView at this stage.
I find TradingView much more easy to use than the Harmonic Scanner.
Well, you'll notice today, that's why I went over to TradingView, because I started on the Harmonic Scanner and I thought, I can't do it on this. You know, I had to go back to I love TradingView so much.
Yeah, and once it's set up on TradingView, that's it, isn't it? You know, these 25 to lives, for example, you've got to keep resetting the Fibonacci retracement settings on the Harmonic Scanner, haven't you?
Oh, that's what happened, because it lost the settings. So that's why I said, I'll hop over to TradingView. I thought, where have my settings gone?
It keeps them for as long as you're actually in that session.
Oh, that's
but
right.
if, you know, if sometimes you've not been on it for a while, it'll kick you out and you have to log in again, or the next day you're logging in again. It's lost all the settings. Whereas TradingView, you can save it, can't you? And then it's there all the time.
Okay, Sophie, you're gonna get on the live session to watch the recordings. You're gonna stick to BYOB, but what we're gonna do next, not today, what we're gonna do next over the next few days, or maybe by the beginning of next week, is spend a session getting you set up on TradingView, because that's my gut feeling, and I'm more at home on TradingView. Because painful though you might find it, once you've got it set up, you've just got to click your template, as Kathy said, and then you haven't got to worry about it anymore, which I think is the best way to go.
I think that's good. Thank you for the feedback, Kathy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah. I'll tell you the things that sorry, Kathy.
No, I was going to say, I found it very, very helpful as well, just to listen to